who was the CIA director at the time, 7 years ago, John Brennan, admitting the giant geoengineering chemtrail program.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations.
That's right. Changing your weather changes somebody else's weather. So we have that backdrop here, and we have this London Guardian article. My month with chemtrail conspiracy theorists. Tammy Reed and her partner are insane. They believe there's a secret project when all it is ice crystals from condensation. No, those fade away in a few minutes. And then we get all of this. Bill Gates' venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. What could go wrong? Forbes. Controversial spraying method aims to curb global warming. CBS News. Geoengineering marks scientific gains in UN report on dire climate future. They've got to do it for our own good. London Guardian, what if it's too late to save our planet without geoengineering? So the Guardian says it doesn't exist, you're bad out of one article, and then says it exists and it's good out of another. Science.org, geoengineers inch closer to sun-dimming balloon test. Geoengineering, the quick and potentially catastrophic fix for climate change. ABC News, Australia. Here's what scientists really think about chemtrails. Huffington Post, they're real, they're good for you. And then NBC News. Do airplane contrails add to climate change? Yes, and the problem is about to get worse. I mentioned this CIA director on the geopolitical risk of climate geoengineering, which is ongoing. And the stacks go on and on and on. But what's the new information? We already knew this. We had a guest on years ago that did the test. And went and got the samples of soil all over the world, but particularly the U.S., from Oregon to New York, from Florida to Texas, and they found very toxic, extremely poisonous pesticides that kill everything, plant, animal, amphibian, fish, insect it comes in contact with. And you wonder why they would admit mainstream news, where are all the insects or the windshield test? I drove just a few months ago in the spring in Texas to our historic family land in East Texas. In our hands since the late 1820s. And normally when I travel, in the spring particularly, I have to stop 3 times with a squeegee at gas stations and clean the dead bugs off. And the radiator is just covered with dead bugs. No bugs. No bugs. No bugs. If the bugs are dying, what's that mean? See, they're not just killing the evil humans we've all been taught to hate, how bad we are, how guilty we are, turn our life force against ourselves. They are killing the whole planet. So here's national Spanish news. Vaz Ibitria. The Spanish Meteorological Agency has confessed that Spain is being sprayed with lead dioxide, silver iodine, and diatomite, and more. And it goes on to say that they are spraying with UN authorization and the EU biocides, and look up biocides, a pesticide that kills life. And they say in the press release that's right here in Spanish that it's being done to stop global warming. So pesticides stop global warming. Oh, but wait, it gets better. It gets a lot better. They go on to say that it's also to stop COVID. And there's another little problem here. They talk in documents about stopping COVID in 2019. That's their cover for the whole thing. I suggest you go read it. Here's Reuters. Geoengineering marks scientific gain in UN report on dire climate future. Only this can save us. But don't debate it while it's been going on for decades. Secretly, controversial spraying method aims to curb global warming. CBS News. And then we have House Republicans introduce climate change strategy with eye on midterms. Oh, they admit it's real, but they've got a better way to cut the evil carbon dioxide that plants breathe. It is a declaration of war against the building blocks of all life on this planet, carbon-based life forms. And the carbon cycle of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. And you take out carbon dioxide and you collapse the planet. I can pull up headlines.